Bonjour et bienvenue à Slay the Princess. On se retrouve ici. Après quelques gossages ici et ça. Notamment une princesse qui était faite toute comme qui était essentiellement un squelette en lame. Là, j'ai été décidé que je me suis dit, ben, la prochaine affaire qu'on va faire, c'est de l'amour. Fait que j'ai décidé d'aller du côté de la princesse. Puis là, il a fallu, le narrateur a essayé de nous tuer, fait que, a essayé de la tuer. Fait que, on a résisté, on s'est fait tuer en retour, puis là, on revient ici. C'est là qu'on est, là. Proceed to the cabin. La dernière loupe qu'on avait, la princesse, essentiellement, elle a été forcée de nous tuer.
The interior of the cabin is clean and elegant, its stone walls draped in fine-threaded tapestries, a prison befitting a royal prisoner. The only furniture of note is an ornate wooden table with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Non. Approach the mirror. On va
Walk
voir
up
si
to the
disparaît
wall
encore.
next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. What are you talking about? This isn't a wall.
Là, il est là. À chaque fois qu'on reboot, puis qu'on refait, il est là.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. But there was a mirror a second ago. And now it's gone. Pity. We could have a feather out of place and now we'll never know. We can't gallantly sweep her off her feet if we have a feather out of place.
Alright. Non, not take the blade into the basement. On va y aller full pacifiste, là.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing an intricate stairwell. Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the torches positioned along the walls. The basement almost seems welcoming in the dim firelight.
Et encore une fois, c'est une question de perception. L'univers réagit à ce que nous autres on fait.
But it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Puis ça, c'est toujours la ligne qui est toujours là, cette
A
ligne-là.
soft voice carries up the stairs.
Hello? Is someone there?
Non, c'est plus la même voix.
Her voice. It's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I think we're in love. Okay, I'm with you that we should be doing whatever we can to save her, but saying we're in love is a bit much, don't you think? We don't even know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this fawning. Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charms are all part of the manipulation. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall. My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment. You know she can't hear you, right? She may not be able to hear my words, but surely she can hear my spirit. Oh, your spirit's plenty loud, all right.
It's you, my dashing hero. I was so worried you wouldn't come back.
C'est ça, elle se rappelle.
Do you hear that? She said we're dashing. And she called us a hero. Flattery really goes a long way with the two of you, doesn't it?
Yeah, of course.
Waiting for you to come back. You've been here before, haven't you?
Mm-hmm.
That's right, villain. And you killed us. Well, she killed us. Only because he made us try and kill her. It was self-defense. Our beloved's hands remain unstained by cruelty.
Ça, c'est vrai, par
And
exemple.
you've died before. So an entire world has been damned to oblivion. I'd really hoped I'd be the first, but what's done is done. What matters is you have a chance to do it right this time. We damned a whole world, but everything reset.
Ah, c'est vrai, le hero, les voix dans ma tête, genre mon personnage à moi, il se rappelle plus, mais dans le fond, oui pis non. On est damn the whole world parce que j'ai l'impression qu'une fois qu'on meurt, l'univers arrête d'exister.
Nothing resets. You're just somewhere else. You can't keep hopping between worlds forever. Especially not without leaving a trail of incomprehensible devastation behind you. This is horrible. Horrible for you, maybe. but we've been given another opportunity to sweep her off her feet and treat her like the lady she is. Now, hold on. If she actually ended a world, are you sure we want to do this? Are you sure we want to rescue her?
Oui.
We never saw a world end, and now I'm even more certain that we must chase our heroic and romantic destiny than I've
Ah, lui, il
ever
est un
been.
petit peu gossant, on
I
s'entend là.
shan't let anyone convince us otherwise.
Le Smitten, il est un petit peu gossant, on
Are you
s'entend.
listening to him? He's lost it. Don't let him distract you. Just do your job.
Bon, finalement. Why did you do that? Non, on le sait pourquoi qu'elle a fait ça. Didn't bring a knife. Do I have to cut you out again? What happened after I died?
You died, and now we're talking.
But before we started talking, did the world end? Did you end the world?
I don't know. Was I supposed to have ended the world? Would that have made you happy?
Isn't that just like our darling princess? She wants to make us happy. My heart melts further with every word that passes through her beautiful lips.
Ah, c'est que tu me gosses, Smitten.
Are you listening to her? That's a confession.
No, I don't want the world to end. About the world ending, honestly, the world sucks. People are plaguing. I hope you brought a slow and painful ruin to them all. No, I don't want the world to end.
Then I didn't end the world.
See? She didn't confess anything. She is innocence itself. I'm not so sure.
Mais dans le fond, c'est juste que c'est une autre version d'elle. Fait qu'elle, j'ai l'impression qu'elle existe dans pas mal toutes les... Elle existe comme communalement. Communautaire, non pas communautaire, mais comme... C'est comme une conscience collective qui est comme spread out across the multiverse, là. Hurt a lot. Non, mais ça c'est correct, elle sait pas qu'est-ce qu'elle faisait. Didn't bring a knife, do I have to cut you out again? Oh, I'm so sorry about what happened last time. The narrator who sent me here to kill you took over my body. Was extremely unfair.
Another version of me was pushed to such drastic action. It was for good reason.
That's okay. You were just doing your best, and that's all that matters.
She took that in stride. To a surprising extent.
C'est parce qu'elle comprend qu'est-ce qui se
And almost
passe.
that's because she's perfect. Do you think she has someone like him telling her what to do? She doesn't. There's no one else like me. I think he's right, because I like it better if she doesn't have some horrid little voice like him, always trying to drive her to violence.
I didn't bring a knife, do I have to cut you out again?
I'm okay with whatever you come up with. You can cut my arm off again.
We won't be laying a finger on her perfect wrists, and indeed, we won't even have to. Do you see how dainty her hands are? We'll be able to slip her right out with no harm done. What? No, she's a prisoner here. You can't just slip her hand through the chains. Why are you two arguing over the logistics of slipping her hand out of her shackles? She just said she'd be okay with any idea we came up with. Am I the only one here who thinks that's weird? She didn't care last time. Why should she care this time? That's our stoic, smiling angel. No, you're right. It's extremely bizarre behaviour and further evidence that she's a monster who's not to be trusted. So go ahead and slay her.
Now rescue the princess.
No. I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, You'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her? I would if you had a weapon. Not on my watch, villain. My passions contain titanic depths, and if you try anything that might harm our dearest, I will end our life without a second thought. You wouldn't. I would.
What the
I'd
hell?
listen to him if I were you. He has a lot of strong feelings. And doesn't the world end if we don't stop her? You approach the princess and gingerly slide her hand from her bindings. That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. We're doomed.
We're doomed! Doomed! Yay!
I can't believe it. But I guess I have to. I told you. There's no life more worth living than that of a true believer.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh. If only you had a weapon, one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade would be buried in her back, and everyone out there would be saved.
Screw it.
Luckily for Mr. Romance, we don't have a weapon. Who needs a weapon when we have the power of love on
The
our
power
side?
of love.
What do we do now?
What do you want to do?
Let me guess. End the world? Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just a misunderstanding? What if she doesn't want to end the world? You're so gullible. Is the only thing you've ever doubted the actual truth?
I think I want to leave. And I think...
Oh.
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection, and then she shrugs.
I don't know. What do you want to do?
If you want to leave, then let's leave.
That sounds perfect.
The princess takes your hand, the last hopes of the entire world slipping through your fingers as they intertwine with hers. We have each other. We don't need the world for our happy ending.
Puis je sais que ça va devenir vraiment un
I like to
monstre.
think
Puis
that you do, actually. Look, I have my doubts, but the choice has been made and this is happening. You don't have to mope about it. I will mope about it, because moping is the only recourse you love-blind fools have left me with. You and the princess walk up the stairs, hand in hand. Ugh, look at the way she's smiling at you. She doesn't have to be so happy about
hey,
this.
it's cute.
And what happens after we walk up the stairs? Let's see. Oh, isn't that interesting? The door slams in your face and the lock clicks.
Alors, au moins, cette fois-ci, elle a son bras.
That's a familiar move. Did I do that last time? Then you should know that you won't be able to leave.
Oh no! Did someone lock us in here? That's not fair. We're supposed to leave now.
She's right. It isn't fair. But the unfairnesses of the world are no match
Passe ton
for
bras
the
à travers le
strength
trou.
of true love. Enough with this true love nonsense. You just met her. Of course you wouldn't understand. Our passions run deeper than anything you will ever know.
C'est qui est mon gueule, lui.
Are you listening to this? You don't have to go along with the every whim of that delusional voice.
Oui,
I'm
c'est
just along
ça
for
qu'on
the
fait.
ride at this point.
C'est ça qu'on fait. I think I've got this. I think we can open it if we try together. I think we can open it if we try together.
Okay. Yeah. let's do it.
Togetherness! Yay!
Like a pair of teenagers in love, you and the princess place your hands on the door. Together. Blech. And the lock clicks and the door creaks open. Are you kidding me? I told you our love was insurmountable.
Insurmountable!
You and the princess make your way upstairs, and the blade, that's right, there's still a chance for you to do the right thing. Take the blade from the table and slay her before it's too late.
No, you're not doing that. You're not doing that.
You're enjoying this, aren't you? You're taking every opportunity you can to draw out the end of the world and make me suffer.
Yes. Tu m'as assez fait chier, mon gars.
Hate you.
That's the way out. We're going to leave together, just like you wanted.
Yes, I suppose you are going to do that, aren't you? You cross the room, opening the door to the cabin, and then you step outside. A happy ending at last.
Là, elle va devenir un... C'est-tu là qu'elle devient un monstre?
We did it. What should we do now?
Ah, c'est la fin.
Where did everything go? Where did he go?
C'est ça le... Ah, c'est ça le End of the World. C'est ça, comme je disais, c'est comme c'est pas une simulation, mais c'est comme un pocket universe. Puis une fois qu'on a fini, ça fait juste.
Oh, is he gone? I hadn't noticed. I was too busy staring deep into our beloved's eyes.
I'm cold. Is being happy supposed to be so cold?
Non, mais you're
She's
about to
cold.
be.
Quick, our feathers. Pluck them all and weave her a coat worthy of a princess.
The world ends. There we go. You don't make the chance. You don't get the chance to make that jacket. Nor will you ever. It's time for you to leave. Memory returns.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her?
Hey, vous êtes encore là,
Is
vous
that
autres?
a mirror? Why is it here? Why now?
Yeah. Of course you're scared. This is the end for you, but it's not the end for me.
What is that supposed to mean? Whatever awful thing I felt before, it feels so much worse now. Do it then. End us all before I die of a broken heart.
You approach the mirror, gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward, they're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but you need to see what's in it. Oh. You've withered. Find yourself in a long quiet once again. Proceed to the cabin. Approach her.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction, a mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all into something new, and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
Can't be a contradiction. Contradictions don't exist. It doesn't matter how many times I go back, at least one of us always hurts the other. Doesn't that change you? Doesn't that make you worse? Ok, on a... contradictions don't exist.
And yet my waters flow and my streets bustle. There are no words that can describe me into non-existence. There is no logic that can bind my multitudes. I am everything that you have known me to be, but I am also none of it.
How can you stand to be a contradiction?
As easily as you can stand to be you. You are like me, even if you have chosen not to look at the corners of you that do not fit. Even if you have chosen to ignore the brilliant contours of your soul.
Là, elle parle à travers, si tu vois qu'elle... Doesn't matter how many times I go back, at least one of us always hurts the other. Doesn't that change you? Doesn't that make you worse?
It changes
Check,
me, but it
il
doesn't
a fait
make me
parler.
worse, nor does it make me care for you any less. Does it make you worse? Do you resent me?
Seems so distant as soon as I'm near you. Yes, you're torturing me and I hate it. I think I hate you. No, if anything, it makes me like you more. C'est comme un tug of war qui est comme super intéressant entre les deux.
It says that your heart is gentle, that even in the darkness you are guided by compassion.
What do you think of this vessel?
This one is soft and delicate. You molded her to love you, and she'll make for a gentle heart.
Ah,
Do not mourn her. She has served her purpose.
c'est plate un peu, tu sais. Non, ça, je veux pas le dire. Parce que peut-être que c'est vrai, mais... You know what happens to the worlds we leave behind?
My perspectives are shadowed. You have seen what I have seen, just as I have seen what you have seen. The angles of my vantage do not offer me hidden truths, and my attention is turned inward, except when you are here with me. Perhaps this will change when our work is done.
So, non, tu le sais pas. At the end of this, once you're finished, I'm going to kill you, right? Pourquoi je dirais ça? Ah, let's go.
If that remains your choice when all is said and done, then you may try. But know that I do not wish you harm, even if you attempt to destroy me.
Have you figured out what you want when we're finished?
The desires of my multitude thrive in endless competition with themselves, but none of them rise above their dance to influence me. I yearn for what I have always yearned for, our awakening. Other desires shrink in the light of knowing you and knowing
Il me
me.
semble qu'on a déjà posé cette question-là, puis ça change. You still not care what I bring you next?
I care about your gifts, but I have no preferences to burden you with. Even if I did, I would never dare to tarnish our relationship by assuming myself above you.
Alright. How many more vessels do I need to bring you?
We will know when we near our destination.
Okay, so not yet. You don't have any preferences how you'd like to change the song, on l'a déjà dit. I'm ready to go back.
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
Everything goes dark and you die again. Hero and the princess. Ok, là, qu'est-ce qu'on peut
You're on a
faire?
path in the woods, and at the
Ok,
end
ça on l'a
of
déjà
that,
vu
you're
là,
hit.
bla 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 bla.
You make your way. A warning. She will lie. She will cheat. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a princess. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Proceed into the cabin. Fait que ça c'est la première fois. Fait que là, ici, on a la chance de...
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
Fait que là, le premier choix qu'on a, c'est ça.
The blade is
Est-ce qu'on prend le blade ou pas? Fait que ça, c'est notre premier choix. Au début, quand on part, est-ce qu'on prend le blade? Je vais enter the basement.
The door to the
Sans le
basement
blade.
creaks open, revealing her voice.
Hello?
Is don't let it.
Just continue
Good.
down the stairs.
You're still listening to reason.
Ça, on l'a déjà
It
entendu.
would
Là.
be better if you had a weapon. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain. She's beautiful. I am begging you to stay.
Hi. Do you think you can get me out of these chains?
Je sais pas si je peux le faire direct. I'll see what I can do. Examine the chains direct. Parce que là, je pense que c'est un choix parce qu'on n'a pas le explore.
You're only making this more difficult.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge no. You're doing the right thing.
You're doing the right thing, yeah.
You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give they're large and heavy. Far too solid for you
So
to
on a
even
déjà
imagine.
I'm
entendu.
guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked.
I'm going to check upstairs. Maybe the key's still lying around somewhere. Maybe I can at least find something to break you free. Parce que là, dans le fond, on est allé ici. On va venir ici.
Okay. I'll be here. Good luck.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs. Is someone else here?
Try the door. On l'a déjà fait, ça.
You try the door.
Return to the bottom of the stairs.
You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
On
Look at
est,
the
on
mess.
est dans la
I heard the
même
door
branche,
slam.
là.
They locked you.
There's a slight panic rising.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could...
She barely hesitates as she rips her flesh from her body. It's the blade from upstairs. Or we could use it to free. You won't like what...
Parce que si on save the princess, on se retrouve... On se retrouve dans la même branche qu'on était. Je vais essayer de faire ça, puis on va écouter le narrateur. J'ai pensé.
Fine. Against your better judge, you cut into her. The blade is sharp, and it her limb. She didn't know.
On l'a tout
She
déjà
smiles
vu.
soft. How is...
Thank you.
Approach the locked door.
No, we won't have any of that. As the princess approaches... Wait, this... Watch me.
What are you doing?
T'sais, on l'a warn là, mais on l'a fait la dernière fois.
Okay, there's no going back now. I'm with you to the end. You bring the blade down to strike at the princess's heart. But she's fast. She ducks to the floor, your blade narrowly grazing her backside. Slaying her won't be easy now that she's free.
We could have gotten out of here together. Were you just lying to me this whole time? I don't know what's come over you, but if I have to kill you, then I'll kill you. Do you think I need both of my arms to do that?
She pounces on you with the same animal ferocity she used to tear through her arm. But you have a weapon. You raise the blade, digging it under her ribs, aiming directly for the heart. It's not enough to stop her. You feel her claws in your throat, then her teeth, somehow sharp enough to pull apart your flesh and sinew with ease. You collapse to the floor, your body unresponsive as your blood pools on the ground beneath you.
Damn.
She stares down at your ravaged form, eyes shining in the darkness, dress stained in red as her blood and yours both seep into the fabric.
Fait que là, elle est comme...
If we're...
If we're lucky, the wound you managed to inflict will be enough to at least delay her escape from this place. If we're very lucky, it will kill her before she can reach the outside world.
It can't just end like this, right?
Fait que là, elle s'est rendue comme un
As
animal.
much
Là.
as I'd prefer for things to have gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. I'm sorry, but it's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
The witch.
You're on a path in the... You're here to slay her.
She's going to kill me again. Proceed to the cabin.
A warning. She will lie. Don't worry.
Mais là, c'est ça. Ça va être complètement changé. On est tombé dans une autre branche.
The interior of the cabin is a mess of twisted roots. The walls a chaotic weave of knotted wood that, almost as if by accident, just happened to resemble a room. The floor is damp. The blade is your implement.
No. We don't take the blade.
No
into the
blade.
basement.
Hope you know what you're getting us into. It'll always be here if we need it.
Oh,
Sure,
opportunist.
that was also true last time and we still died, but we definitely know what we're doing this time. The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase dug into the muddy earth below. The ceiling is thick with roots that hang like locks of tangled hair. The weak starlight from the cabin windows behind you
L'écriture est
can
bonne.
barely penetrate the gloom here, only illuminating the edges of an opening below. It shines in the darkness like some kind of massive maw, waiting to swallow you up into the earth.
C'est un den, là. C'est
The
un
air
animal.
smells of dirt and copper. It's thick and wet, as if your lungs are being coated in mud with each intake of breath. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor. Her voice skitters up from below.
Something nasty finds itself on my stairs. Come on down. Don't be scared. I probably won't bite.
Hello.
I recognize that voice as easily as I recognized your nervous little footsteps coming up the path. I know who you are, and I remember what you've done.
She must have you confused with someone else. She seems friendly enough. Maybe we can talk. You can't. Unless you slay her right away, she's going to break free and end the world. There's no reasoning with what she is. Look, I'm just throwing ideas out there. I like to think out loud. I'm the kind of guy who likes a discussion. Don't we want to hear what everyone has to say before making any big decision? Do you want to hear what everyone has to say? Or do you just want to hear yourself talk?
It's pretty dura.
You need to stop lingering. Your task is to slay the princess, not endlessly debate about what to do with the princess. Fine, fine. You're the boss. Thank you. You descend the basement steps, entering the dark room below. You can just make out the shape of the princess in the gloom. She's huddled against the far wall, her eyes bright and glaring from amid the thick roots.
C'est un cat person, là.
And there you are, once again seeming to offer a helping hand while likely hiding the other behind your back. Fine, I'll play along for now. What do you want?
She's acting like the two of you already know each other. Oh, no. You've already been here, haven't you? That's pretty sharp. How'd you figure that one out? Call it deductive reasoning. Well, you seem to be great at it. Do you remember us then? Do you remember last time? No, I don't. But you and the princess clearly have a shared reality, even if I'm not a part of it. I won't waste time fighting you on something that's clearly true. I'm just glad we could put all this behind us. Is it all behind us? Just focus on the task at hand. I don't care if you've been here before, and I don't care if you think you'll go somewhere else after this. My world is on the line right now, so I'd appreciate it if you would take this seriously and slay her. Let's chat her up a bit first. Maybe we can find a middle ground where everyone's happy. Don't talk to her. You're just going to make things more difficult than they have to be.
Well, I seem to remember you having a tongue.
J'aime ça le petit cat mouth. I'm sorry about last time.
Ooh, smart. Let's apologize. Get us back on the right foot.
Oh, you're sorry. Isn't that nice? You're such a gracious little monster. If you're sorry, then let me out of here. Prove it.
Yeah, I get this says that you're not happy with me.
Is that a joke? Do you think a joke will charm my trust back? You'll have to try harder than that.
Alright. Died last time, you didn't. If anyone here should be trusted, it's you. Look, I know things got messy last time. I think there's something bigger than both of us at work. We should team up.
I suppose you didn't come into my hovel of your own accord, did you? All right. I suppose I could team up. I need a way out after all. And unfortunately, you're the only one I have.
Seems to me like she's offering a mutually beneficial arrangement. We should take it. Do you know what the word mutually means? Because it sounds to me like she's offering an arrangement that benefits her and her alone.
Ça c'est vrai. I did bring my blade down, remember? How am I supposed to get you out of those chains?
Oh, I don't need you to cut me out.
The princess grins as the chains fall from her wrist.
Ah, okay.
She could have gotten out of those the whole time. That sneaky little... A woman after my own heart, really. She knows how to hold her cards close to her chest. This is why she can't just be abandoned here. If left to her own devices, she'll find a way out. Now stop her.
Why do I get the nagging feeling you're going to stab me in the back if I help you out of here?
And why would I do such a thing? Is someone's guilty conscience getting to them?
Yes.
But I
On a fait
wouldn't
beaucoup
worry.
d'affaires bizarres dans
As
ce
much
jeu-là.
as I may hate you, letting you live is in my best interests. If you get me out of here, the only thing that will be dead and buried is the bad blood between us.
Oh, that nagging feeling you mentioned is me, by the way. I'm actually a little anxious about a potential backstabbing event. She needs us to get out of here. We'll be fine if that's what we decide to do. You won't be fine because destruction is in her nature. If she gets out of here, that's it for the world, remember? Even if that's true, that doesn't automatically mean she's going to stab us in the back. I think that depends on your definition of words like stab and in the back. She might not literally do that, but she could very well symbolically do the same thing. See? He gets it. There's nothing wrong with looking out for number one.
Okay, leave her in the basement, leave with the princess. You know what? Let's go. Let's leave with the princess.
Yes, let's.
She creeps forward, taking one cautious step at a time until you and she never breaks eye contact, even as the two of you find yourselves face to face.
Version
She's silent
4%.
for a long moment, as if testing to see what you'll do now that she's within arm's reach.
After you, darling. You're the one it lets come and go. It's best if I follow.
Oh no, we can't have that. If anyone is going to turn their back on anyone else, she's going to turn her back on us.
You know what?
It shouldn't matter who leads and who follows. We're working together here.
Exactement.
Well, if it doesn't matter, then she can go first. We may be in this together, but that doesn't mean we have to trust her. Somebody has to go first, and it might as well be us. We're the ones who broke her trust last time. You're talking a lot about trusting someone who, by her very definition, cannot be
No,
trusted.
by your
I don't know how
definition.
many more warnings I have to dole out. But if you help her out of here, you're going to regret it.
Let's go regret it. Step onto the stairs. Whatever, elle peut nous tuer, mais non.
That's right. You're the one who's going first. Don't worry, I'll be right behind you watching every single thing you do.
That's exactly what I'm worried about. You step onto the stairs and begin your ascent from the basement. The princess, you're only saying
Nope.
that because you want us to feel nervous. I do want those things, but I want them for a good reason. I don't need you to trust me for my sake, because I already know that I'm right. This is for you. Can we walk backwards up the stairs? I think that's the smarter idea. She can't sneak in and attack if we're facing her. No. The stairs are a bunch of overgrown roots. You'll trip and hurt yourself. But the princess is silent as you both continue the climb, and in no time at all, the upstairs of the cabin is within reach.
Mais clairement, elle va me tuer une fois qu'on est rendu en haut, pas avant
Isn't
d'arriver.
that a relief? We're fine. Nothing happened. You're not even going to wait until you're through that door to proudly claim your victory, are you? Why did you just say that? I think we know why. You feel something dig into your shoulder, sharp and piercing. The princess clawing at you and pulling you down with her full weight. Together you tumble back down the uneven stairs, your body and hers crashing against the unyielding wooden roots, until finally you both separate with a bone-shaking thud against the basement floor. You feel something pop. The princess lands against the far wall, gasping as she struggles to recover from the impact. You're still in shock, trying to get a hold of yourself. She grins as you continue to remain exactly where you are, cackling derisively as she watches you realize that you won't be getting up. Wait, why won't we be getting up?
Elle nous a slicé en deux.
I'm afraid your back is broken. One unlucky fall is all it takes, really, and you had several. You know what? I'll say it. That sucks. I don't like having a broken back.
Deux secondes, j'ai un petit problème ici, là.
We were going to help her. Why? Why did she do that? It's what I would have done. Have you considered not being like that? Of course not. It's what keeps us alive. And yet here we are, paralysed and stuck with someone who hates us in the basement of a remote cabin.
Puis elle elle peut pas sortir parce que sinon elle serait déjà sortie.
You must have known this was coming. The arrogance of turning your back to me after everything you've done.
Could have gotten out of here if we just trusted each other.
Why would I ever trust you? Your hands have spilled my blood. And knowing that, you should never have trusted me either. You should have known I would never walk hand in hand with a loathsome thing like you.
Fait que là, c'est quoi? C'est comme... Parce que là, elle a de l'air d'avoir le bras cassé aussi. Fait que c'est-tu le genre de choses... la légende du scorpion, là, qui demande au renard de passer la rivière. Puis là, le renard, au début, il fait « Non, 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 tu vas juste me piquer, puis on va mourir les deux dans la rivière. » Puis là, le scorpion, il dit « Non, non, je vais faire attention, ta. » Puis là, dans le milieu de la rivière, il stigne le renard, puis là, jusqu'à ce qu'il soit arrêté de couler, il fait comme « Ah, c'est dans ma nature. »
By our very natures, only one of us could make it upstairs unscathed. Someone had to make the first move. Better me than you.
See, this is why I wanted her to go first. I had this whole little scheme planned, where once she'd passed by the table upstairs, I'd have said, now pick up the blade and stab her in the back. And then you'd say something like, wow, that's an amazing idea that I never saw coming. Thanks for looking out for us. And then you would have done it and we wouldn't be stuck down here with a broken back. There's just one problem with that. And what's that? She was clearly planning to betray us. And if she was in front of us, she would have gotten to the blade first. Ugh, you're right, aren't you? I thought this whole thing was ironclad, but really it was doomed from the start, wasn't it? The princess's body twitches as she tries to get up. Ho ho ho! So she's got it as bad as us.
Mutually assured destruction, comme tout à l'heure, comme
Something
la dernière
inside
fois.
me
Là.
is broken. Isn't that a cruel twist of the knife? Isn't that so funny?
She eyes you with intensity, silence falling between you for a long moment as her gaze travels up and down your battered form.
Seems I'm not the only one, though.
Wait, are we both just stuck here? Certainly seems that way. What a way to go. But look on the bright side. In all this chaos, you may have actually managed to deliver a lethal wound. World could be saved after all.
We're going to die together. Isn't that a lovely treat? I wonder how long it'll take. Maybe I'll get to watch the worms lick your bones clean.
Is that really what's going to happen?
Yep.
Hello? Are you still there? What happens next?
He doesn't respond. Mais non, c'est fini, là.
I think he's gone.
Ça, c'est le...
Something strange is twisting this place out of shape.
Don't worry about it.
I wasn't feeling much of anything, but now I feel cold.
Bye-bye. You don't get the chance to respond, or will you ever? It's time to leave. Memory
She's
returns.
gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror?
You've been here before, you always get scared.
But it feels so bad. Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything. If he thinks it's bad, I'm with him.
It's not the end. I'll see you on the other side. It's going to be okay.
Okay. If you say so. We'll trust you. Finally. We're going places.
La dernière fois, c'est ça que je trouve un peu poche, c'est qu'on l'a pas... il y avait peur, puis ça finit avec la peur, tu sais. Gaze into your reflection. Qu'est-ce qu'on a? You've unraveled. Je sais pas si c'est... Ah, ok, excusez-moi, un petit problème technique de mon bord. You're at the cabin.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. I am curious to see what it means for us to know it.
You think there are people out there?
It doesn't matter if there are. People are too small for us. You and I are the only things that interest me.
Anything is real out there? Think that we're real?
We are real. Nothing is an idea that dwells in the absence of something. But nothing cannot exist on its own. And because of that, nothing can't exist.
J'avoue que c'est un petit peu comme des cartes, ça là. You have thoughts on this vessel?
This one is hope, marred by bitterness. She could see the end of the tunnel, and the door was closed on her. She will make for a righteous and weathered heart. Do not mourn her. She is finally on the other side.
Elle demande toujours ça, puis elle le sait jamais.
If I did, I would already be awake.
C'est ça. You send me back, I'm not alone. There are voices that speak to me. Some of them are me, but one of them is something else. I call him the narrator. He wants me to kill you. Do you have a narrator? Have the vessels had one? Ah, c'est intéressant ça.
No, their minds are empty, existent, but constantly shifting into something new. Do you think your narrator lives in the spaces beyond?
I don't know. I don't know why, but I know this for a fact. He does. I don't know what I'm going to do. What I'm going to do when I find him. He does. And when I find him, you and I are finally going to have answers. He does. And when I find him, I'm going to kill him. He does, but you're going to keep that to yourself. He does. I don't know why, but I know this for a fact. I guess.
I am on the cusp of my awakening. Perhaps you are on the cusp of yours.
How many more vessels do I need to bring you?
One. Whatever you bring me next will be enough.
Oh.
And then gravity will pull the others back to me. I will be singular. A final multitude.
Oh. If this is the last time, is there anything you would like me to bring you?
These gifts are a conversation, and each one shows me the contours of your heart. The only thing I want to see is what you choose for me when the thread is fully drawn.
For your completion, I'm not going back. I'm just going to stay here. No, I'm ready to go back.
The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are. I will be here, waiting for you.
Fait que là, c'est le dernier.
You're
Je
on
sais
a
pas quoi
path
faire.
in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a... You're here to...
Je ne sais pas quoi faire.
You make your way. A warning. She will... We're not going to go... Ignore him.
Okay, blah blah. Proceed to the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and wall... The blade is your imp...
Je vais prendre une petite pause parce que là, j'ai quelque chose qu'il faut que j'aille faire là. Mais je vais... C'est le dernier, right? Fait que je vais juste le finir. Fait que je vais essayer juste de le finir, puis je vais peut-être faire une petite compilation là. Je vais penser à ça. Parce que je veux pas non plus juste faire n'importe quoi. Là. Déjà qu'on a fait pas mal n'importe quoi tout le long. C'est un peu ce que je pensais aussi. On a plus de branches que qu'est-ce qu'on peut lui apporter. Qu'est-ce qu'on a besoin pour finir le jeu. Fait qu'on va finir le jeu. On va voir qu'est-ce qui se passe. Je sais pas si je vais continuer. Je vais peut-être faire un petit medley après. Là. Faire un découpage de plein d'affaires que j'avais pas vu. Je sais pas. Mais sur ce, on se revoit la prochaine fois. En fait, non, même pas. C'est vrai. On se revoit dans... Pour vous, ça va être quelques secondes. À tout de suite.